go. Everybody's going to school. Yeah.
This is Bob. And this is Baron. And these are Baron's buddies. There's Trapper, Amy, and AJ. Bob brought Baron and his buddies to our school, and he told us their stories. But we also learned a whole lot more.
I learned that the LA Unified School District was integrating the mainstream kids with disabilities, but there was nothing to teach these mainstream kids how to accept them. And so I made a decision, instead of going to a children's hospital with my animals with special needs, but instead to bring them to mainstream classes to teach the bulk of our population, our future population, adult population, kids, that being different is okay. There's something that we all have in common, the 4 dogs and me. And what we have in common is that there was something different about us that made it so that nobody wanted us anymore. There was a reason why all these dogs, somebody wanted to kill them in the shelters and not let them live. But what's that got to do with me? Well, about 7 years ago, I went to a doctor and found out that I had cancer. And in fact, several doctors said, we give up on you. You're sick, and we have no time for this. And just sort of live your life, and you're gonna die in about 6 months to a year. Now, how long ago did I say that was?
7 years.
Yeah, so was the doctor right?
No.
No. Trapper, come here. Trapper was found wandering around the desert, and what we think he did is he stepped on a trap that's meant to catch wild animals, and it chopped his leg off.
Yeah.
Now, was there something different about him?
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't it kind of cool? Now, just because they're different, does that mean that there's something wrong with them? No, so when you're in a room and there's lots of people that are of a different race or religion or different hair color, they're different, right? But does that make them wrong? No, so being different it's not wrong at all. In fact, as I said, it'd be a pretty boring world if we were all the same. Over the years, I've generated a few articles. This is a Time magazine article on a medication that I take. I have leukemia, and the cure for leukemia, the treatment, is something called a bone marrow transplant. I turned down the transplant because I needed to be with my animals, and that was 7 years ago. They gave me a year to live 7 years ago, and I credit so much of my existence today to these guys, because if it wasn't for them, I might have gone for a transplant, and I don't know what would have happened. Come here, AJ. AJ. Okay, now AJ, there's something very different about AJ.
He can't see.
That's right, he uses his other senses. Come here, Amy. And now what kind of dog is Amy?
Pit bull.
But what have we heard about pit bulls? Yeah.
Some just at random attack you.
Do we think that just because some pit bulls attack people, that all pit bulls do it?
No.
Okay. Well, in fact, what is it when we think that somebody did something bad, so maybe everybody is like that?
Stereotype?
Stereotype, that's right. What is something that pit bulls, unfortunately, are used for by not very nice people?
Dog fights.
Dog fights, that's right. This I'm particularly proud of. This is an article that documents LA's entrance into dealing with animal cruelty on the worst level, which is blood sports. So I'm very proud that I was instrumental in getting this going in LA.
Asked Bob Ferber from the City Attorney's Office of the Animal Cruelty Prosecuting Unit, and he brought a friend with him.
So I feel I kind of accomplished what I wanted as far as abuse and neglect in LA. And so, yeah, what I would love to do, it's been 20-something years of dealing as a prosecutor with the darker side of life. My relief is, my escape is being with animals and doing something so positive. And taking these animals with all their different disabilities and issues, or one-eyed, three-legged. I think I'd like to spend the rest of my life working with Baron's buddies and expanding it. Not wrong. Amy's different, but there's nothing wrong. Baron, come here. Baron doesn't even look around. Yes. What was wrong with Baron? They were going to kill him, and they really were going to kill him. I'm not kidding.
Maybe because Rottweilers are also stereotyped for being aggressive.
Right, they're stereotyped. They assume that because he was a Rottweiler, he must be vicious. What do we call that?
That's racism.
That's racism, right. And what was the word that you would use? And what was the other word? Discrimination.
Prejudice.
Yeah, all those words. That's it. This is what it's all about. These are things, these are thank you notes from kids who have been to Barron's Buddies. And this is what it's about. When the kids see the animals, and some of these kids who wrote these things were afraid of the animals at the beginning. There's Bob and Amy and Barron.
What I liked about Barron's Buddies is that Bob himself had a disability, and he took that and tried to help other animals and living things that had disabilities, because he knows what it feels like to be treated different.
Everyone's different in a different way, but nobody's perfect.
Bob helped us realize a lot of different points that we need to know in life, and to not be judgmental and just be kind to everyone.
Every person's different, and you can't say someone's ugly just because they're different. They want love.
It doesn't matter about what it looks like on the outside, but it matters what's in the inside.
He really showed us how everyone should be treated the same and no one should be discriminated against, and even dogs shouldn't be discriminated against.
I learned that even if animals are different, they're still caring. You know, you don't need to be scared of them.
Just because they're different and they're not like regular animals, it doesn't mean that you could kill them.
They're all very cute. Thank you for telling us that we can all be different in a good way. That's what it's about. Doesn't get any better than that. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Generate this from kids around the country and the world.